Okay, well, I'm joined by Nicky from Manic Street Preachers, who is now officially a godlike genius. So what better time to take the opportunity to look back over your career, back to the very beginning. How nice. So not quite the very beginning, but Generation Terrorist and your debut album, you started off, there was pretty much everything in that album, from sort of twisted pop songs, Little Baby Nothing, and punk rock, hard rock, a beautiful ballad in Motorcycle Emptiness. You put all of your eggs in one basket. This was not a band that was designed to last 20 years, was it? I mean, how do you see yourself looking back on that now?
It really does seem like an absolute different lifetime. There was so little avenues, really. You know, there was Radio 1, there was The Enemy and The Melody Maker and Sounds, and that was it. You know, there was nothing as glorious as your station or your XFMs and stuff like that. You know, it was a real difficult balancing act to kind of be an independent, fiercely independent band, but kind of get into the mainstream as well. So we knew that songs like Motorcycle Emptiness, Little Baby Nothing, we thought were kind of emotional ballads that would take us into the sweet child of minds of the world. And we did put everything into that first album. We treated it like our last, me and Richie. I feel really sorry for James and Sean, because me and Richie used to go on and on about this is, you know, our first and only record. We will split up. We will sell 20 million albums, and you know, split up on the Empire State Building or the Statue of Liberty and stuff like that. So it was really, you know, it was all or nothing. It was no in between. And looking back on it, I actually feel good that we did as much as we did, because it's a pretty insane concept all around, considering me and Richie couldn't even play.
I mean, when you think about your ambition and your exuberance of the four of you, then is it hard to believe you ever felt that strongly, looking looking at your youth and looking back on it?
There is an element of that. I think that's why with Send Away the Tigers, jumping forward, we did really try to reinvigorate just our naive idealism. That think of feeling like an 18-year-old again who's full of ideas and feels that they can kind of take on the world. And back then, it's hard to do that when you're 39 and you're cynical and you're verging on alcoholism and you just want to lie in bed all day. But it's a beautiful place to be. You only get it once in your life.
Now, tell me a little bit about the band dynamic when you started out, because there was such a clear-cut split, obviously, between you and Richie and James and Sean. I mean, and I always found it amazing how the lyrics that were written by you and Richie could be sung with such passion and rage by James. I mean, how much of a crossover and interconnection was there between the two sides of the band?
Well, luckily enough, me and James had been in the same year in school since the age of 4.5, 5. So we were really, really tight. And although James had written some lyrics when we first started, but I'd always kind of gravitated to that side of it. And it just seemed natural with Richie's kind of brilliant intellect and love of words and complete incapacity to play guitar, that me and him would write words together. And it was the Public Enemy thing, the kind of division of labour, a good Marxist phrase, you know, that the useless musicians would write the lyrics and the manifestos and make the clothes. And Sean was classically trained. He played trumpet in brass bands and all that. He could read music, and James had just picked up a guitar and played Exile on Main Street in a week. So it just felt really natural, and the kind of telepathy between the four of us was, I don't know, it's just that classic. It's like a Hollywood tale. I mean, 4 people in a little town in Blackwood just gravitated to each other and thought they could, really change things.